Good Saturday morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. The highlight of my week as I put this show together on this May the 17th. And we are in birthday mood right now. Okay, we're getting close to it now. It's next Friday for all you folks. I'll be middle-aged for a 164-year-old man, so you can look that up and everything. But this is third Saturday, and we do have the dynamic duo in studio this morning. Now, one of them is here on time, John Gordon. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, there's somebody's lagging a little behind, you know.
Good to have you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, I know you've been so busy in your travels. We're going to talk to John about in his capacity. What's that title again?
A media production manager.
Media production manager. So that's MPM.
I'm the MPM.
MPM, kind of like the MP, okay?
Close.
Well, we have the MP right sitting over there right now, the man from how many years in the Marines?
20 active and 10 in the Fleet Reserve.
That is Hoot Hazelgrove over there. Everybody knows that. Ricky is his real name. I don't know if anybody calls and asks for Ricky, he probably won't answer. Just like me. If they call and ask for Charles Rhea, I know they don't want me. You know, my first name is Charles, and my last name is not Rhea.
I should call you Charlie from now on.
You can call me Charlie. You can call me anything you want to.
Chuck. How about that?
I got a cousin named Chuck. All right, a lot of those. But and of course, it is third Saturday, so that means that Frank Barton will join us momentarily. He's got a family matter to take care of, and he'll be in on the studio with us. And so, good Saturday morning to all you folks. Good Saturday in Brownsville on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. Jackson on News Talk 101.5, and, of course, right here in Memphis every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 on AM 790. And Mr. Hoot over there, and he is a hoot, he has brought some toys. Would you say he's got some toys over there?
It's like a toy chest.
It's like a toy chest because he came in his turkey vest, which weighs 30 pounds. Well, the vest doesn't weigh 30 pounds, but once he puts stuff in it, and what do you have over there in front of you, Hoot? Give us a preview. What we got over there?
If you can, let's just make believe I'm guiding a hunter and we just heard a turkey gobble. It's first thing in the morning as the little birds are chirping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if time allows me, as far as when I'm in the woods with the hunter, I'm going to set him where I would sit if I was hunting and I had the gun. I can adjust to anything. He needs the premier show to happen in front of him, if possible.
And you've got the show in front of you. I mean, you've got.
This is part of it.
Well, now we're going to do a whole segment, so don't give it all away yet, Hoot.
Okay.
You got 30 pounds worth of stuff over there, including the bird itself.
Well, sure, and I know
let's tease that. Tell us. Don't give all your secrets away yet.
Well. People can't see what we're doing right here, but I do have a motion type thing to a strutting decoy with a real fan in it. And if you'll notice, I've highlighted the colors.
Yes. All right.
If the sun hit this, it's going to shine big time.
It is, yes.
And if y'all have ever seen a gobbler in the sunshine out in the field, you know what I'm talking about.
We know what you're talking about.
It's 1,000 times different than a drab-looking hen. I'm being polite.
I know that. Yes, I know that. And so we're going to talk to Hoot. He's hanging on now because the season is winding down in Tennessee. Of course, it's already wound down for our man Hoot. You're through, right?
Right, I tagged out.
You tagged out. That means 2 in Tennessee.
Correct.
And then, of course, he was a guide at Blackwater Guide Service over in South Carolina.
Small town. Tune is bigger than Ulmer,
South Carolina. Tune is bigger. Okay.
Yes.
So I know that we've got a turkey season is going to end on the 25th,
Correct.
I think, and that'll wind. And that just seems really goofy to me. Season going that long. Of course, you folks in Mississippi, you start winning snow on the ground down in Mississippi.
I would say snow.
Well, they start in early March.
I've been when it's been in the 20s.
I've been when there's been sleeting and snow.
Yeah.
Come on, I've been out there. Of course, Mississippi ought to have 2 seasons, one in the south, one in the north. We've talked about that, John.
Talked about that. I've heard a lot of turkey hunters in Mississippi talk about it over the years. That
Yes.
there needs to be a zone.
Need to be a zone.
Split, but
I mean, you live in Mississippi. Can't you do something along that line?
Those Mississippi, game and fish guys, I don't know, man. They're so set in their ways.
Oh, really?
Well,
A lot of hunters
They've been
are.
doing.
You don't think Hoot's setting his ways over there?
The rifle season for deer is going to open up the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Till the end of time, and that's just how they think over there in Mississippi.
And they got about 28 zones. I mean,
there's a bunch for whitetail, so why not turkeys?
Well, I know it. So anyway, let me tell you what we got on the plate today, so to speak. Harold Graeter, he is the AutoZone Assistant Director, will be joining us in the second segment. Liberty Bowl announced a special award for our late colleague Ron Wong, and they announced it at Ron's Celebration of Life. And so we're going to talk to Harold about that. Then I'm going to spend a whole segment with the man with all of his toys over there, Hoot Hazelgrove. And then in the next segment, Kent Driscoll. He is the director of B&M Poles Pro Staff, and we're going to talk to Kent and Madlyn Roberts about a new foundation named in honor of Ron Wong. And it's pretty cool what they're going to do for Ron, and they're going to tell us about it. And then how about Cody Walker? He has been the director, facility manager for the Forest Elwood Crowley's Ridge Nature Center in Jonesboro, which recently had its 1 millionth visitor. And if you have not been to this nature center, it's named after one of my all-time favorite outdoorsmen, Forest Elwood, of course, of Ranger boats and everything else. So talk to Cody about that. Then we want to close out today's show. It's almost fishing rodeo time, and you know how important those are to me and everybody else. June 7th is Free Fishing Day in Tennessee, and so we're going to talk to Billy Blakley. He is the chief waterfowl guide and fishing guide at Blue Bank Resort on Reelfoot Lake, and also a member of the Legends of the Outdoor Hall of Fame. We went in together. And, of course, he took the opportunity during his speech to tell everyone that my wife, Miriam, was a better fisher person than me. And so I've always held that against Billy. But anyway, they're going to have a fishing rodeo in a couple of weeks, too. So we'll talk to Billy on that. But it's going to be a lot of fun today. Now, Guy Trebo could not be with us this morning, but you can go to LarryRay.com and get all the information that's going on, the fishing reports, all the wildlife offices around the Mid-South, what's going on with them. It's always updated on time. And that's LarryRay.com. But we missing Guy today, but he'll be back next week. And speaking of next week, I'm going to let you know right now, after church Sunday, me and my wife are heading to Gaston's White River Resort for some amazing trout fishing on the White River. Can't wait to get over there. The weather, I hope the weather's good, but going to be fishing with Levi Mosier, and it just happens to be where all my family roots are, out of Valonia, Arkansas. Going to talk to Levi, talk to Clint Gaston, talk to Jake Hansen, and we'll devote a portion of next week's show to trout fishing on the White River. But right now, we have the people in here. I know you've been traveling, man. You should have everything. Is it all ready now? Are we rolling? You got it all now?
Well, I'm still in the process of planning a lot of things. I've got about half the DUTV season ready to go. Mm-hmm. New episodes will be coming out for that, last week of June, first part of July. Great season we've got coming out for DUTV. I've got the new lady series, DU Ascend.
Yes.
We're filming stuff for that now.
Yeah.
That will be filmed throughout the summer and then into the fall. Got DU Nation. We got DU Nation films coming out every 2 weeks on YouTube. So it's busy.
And then in August, we can't wait for the DU Expo.
That's right. Back here in Memphis.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Downtown Memphis
for the first time.
I want to see how that works.
Indoors. It's
Indoors?
going to be a lot different than the old Great Outdoor Festival, but I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we have already talked about that. I think it's August the 10th, I'm thinking.
That's right. Yeah, you had Logan on, correct?
Yeah, I had Logan on. I think it's on the same Saturday as the Legends of the Outdoors is in Springfield, where I'll be. But we're going to be talking more about this as we get closer and closer, because I'm excited about it, and from the old days of doing that. And it's always good to have Hoot in studio. I mean, with his toys, and the man has served our country. He has served. He is not the mayor of Toone. I mean, people think he is, and he does not work for Walmart.
Does Toone have a mayor?
Well, yes, they do. Yeah, they do. They got a First Baptist Church too, But they also know Hoot from Walmart because he plays his saxophone at Christmas and whenever you have a chance. All the school kids know Hoot, right, Hoot?
Right.
I mean, he loves to do this. He's got a wonderful dog named Diesel who runs his life for him, which is not bad about that, to do that. But the turkey side of Hoot is amazing, that what he's done, and to be a guide in South Carolina where he cut his marine teeth, so to speak. How far are you from Parris Island?
Where I guide?
Yeah.
It's 110 miles inland from Parris Island.
And you did spend some time at Parris Island, right?
Yes, I did.
A lot of time.
Matter of fact, that's where I went through boot camp, of course.
Yes, yeah.
And let's say 18 years later, I got stationed back at Parris Island, and that's where I retired.
Yeah, and that's where he is. And his roots are in South Carolina at Blackwater, hunting guide service, and we're going to talk to Hoot about that. So we're going to take our first break of the morning, come back with Harold Graeter with another something for Ron Wong. I tell you what, it's still devastating to know that Ron is not here, and he's here in spirit on the second and fourth Saturday, and I can't tell you how many people are still doing it. Brian Brasher, my good friend Brian Brasher, just wrote a tribute to Ron on Facebook. Read it, because Brian did a great job. I know I introduced them together, but we miss Ron. But anyway, his sister Debbie she sent me a message, and she will be in Springfield, Missouri this August when they induct Ron into the Legends of the Outdoor Hall. Let's take a break, and then we're going to go to the Liberty Bowl, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, talking football. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air on this Saturday, May the 17th, which is third Saturday, which means John Gordon is one of our co-hosts. Again, good morning, John.
Good morning, Larry.
And we're waiting on our other co-host, Frank Barton. He'll be in here momentarily. Got some family matters to take care of, but and a special guest in studio with 30 pounds of turkey hunting paraphernalia over there is my good friend Hoot Hazelgrove. Good morning, Hoot.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Well, we're going to step aside for a little bit right here. I was so privileged to be part of the program when we celebrated the life of Ron Wong, and what a crowd we have, what a day we had that day. And a couple of big-time things were brought out about Ron, and we want to continue that legacy right now because Steve Earhart, the executive director of the Liberty Bowl, was at the celebration of life and announced something. Well, I'm going to bring in a young man he's still a young man to me, that I'm proud of, and had the chance to be maybe a little part of his career. I don't know, but he is the associate director for the Liberty Bowl, and his name is Harold Graeter. And Harold, first of all, buddy, I'm proud of your service that you've done. Went straight from Channel 5, I know. After working in the pits and the barns of the Commercial Appeal in those old days when I was the prep editor there for 21 years. But Harold's got some news that we want to announce this Saturday morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray related to Ron Wong. So, Harold, take it away.
Well, Larry, I appreciate that. Thanks for those kind words. Yes, my not so illustrious, maybe middle of the road journalism career started down there working for you and John Ganazzo and a few others with high school sports on Friday nights, and from there, led to 15 years at Action News 5. So thank you for that, and I'm proud that you're a part of my life journey, and a lot of it started there at the Commercial Appeal, thanks to you. So appreciate that.
Well, I think of, and I got to throw it in here because I really liked some young kids at that time, but I can't think of Harold unless I think of Todd Eaton. Harold, I mean,
absolutely.
Todd was one of those one-of-a-kind individuals. The Lord took him too soon, but at the same time, the Lord's in control of everything. But y'all were kind of at the hip, y'all were part of that team.
Yep.
And he always said, my land. He never could get Madlyn up there. He thought we were in Italy. But anyway, Harold, take it away because I know I was really proud to see what you guys are going to do. Tell us about it.
Well, like all of y'all and so many in your audience, we're all great friends of Ron's. We're touched by him. Yeah. We're blessed that he passed through our lives. Yeah. And for us at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Ron was so gracious with his time and his talents. Yeah. He was a photographer for us, volunteered at all of our events whenever we needed him. Yeah. But when it ties into our annual golf tournament that benefits St. Jude, one of his great loves and passions was cooking.
Yes, it was.
And for years and years, he would come out there, the heat of the summer, with a couple of his Ole Miss buddies, and they would cook sliders.
Yes, they would.
On the spot, fresh meat, cooked up, that aroma, the smoke and everything. Talking about great advertising, all you had to do was get a whiff of that smoke of that great food that Ron was whipping up for everybody, and it was great. It was right there. His location was right under the veranda on the backside of the clubhouse at TPC Southwind. Yeah. So when you made the turn, he had food for you.
He did.
And he had those sliders for you. Yeah. And it wasn't just about the food, as great as it was. It was, talking college football, talking fishing, just shooting the breeze, shooting the bull, and having a good time with everybody. And again, we were so blessed. So we have officially retired the slider piece of our event. Oh, right. As a matter of fact, we just had a committee meeting on Monday night, and we talked about it. With Ron's passing, so goes the slider, because no one did it like he did it, with the passion and the love that Ron did. And we don't want to try to replicate that, because that was one of the unique things.
Yeah, can't be done.
Can't do it. No. So in honor of Ron this year, we are going to have pretty close, a very large photo of him, maybe life-size, that we're going to place.
Because that's what made Ron. I mean, he was a small fella like me who had a big heart, but he was bigger than you thought when you got into it with him. That's his old Westwood High School days. I can tell you that. But go ahead, Harold. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we're going to have that life-size photo of Ron right there where his location was all those years, where he would cook the sliders for everybody. Yeah. So we invite you to come out and be a part of it. Yeah. We still have playing spots available in the tournament again, and all of the money, everything, whether it's from the dinner and the auction the night before at the Hilton Hotel or the golf tournament, all that money goes to St. Jude, and we have some playing spots available. If you're interested, give us a call here at the world headquarters of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl in beautiful downtown East Memphis. Yes. At 901-795-7700. So we invite all of Ron's friends to come out and be a part of the tournament, support St. Jude, which Ron was so passionate about, and just help us celebrate Ron and everything that Ron was and all of his great contributions to not just our event, but so many other charitable events and organizations around the not just Memphis and Shelby County, but around the Mid-South.
And that's right, folks. So the tournament is August the 25th, 7:45 and 1:15. Shotgun starts. And as Harold said, all proceeds of the tournament go directly to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which was one of Ron's top charities. He was so heavily involved, not only that, Make-A-Wish, a lot of other ones. He's been honored for all of like that. And I tell you, Harold, one of my things that I will miss about Ron is every time he was at an event, particularly at TP Southwind, particularly when I had cancer, he would make sure he would come by my house after being out there all day cooking sliders, bringing me sliders by my house out in Germantown. And that was just Ron Wong. That's just the way.
That sums up Ron Wong right there.
Yeah. Well.
And again, he was so he had so many passions and loves. Again, whether it was fishing, or Ole Miss football, Ole Miss
put up
athletics.
with that. Yeah, we put up with that. Yeah.
Well, we all did.
Yeah, we did.
We love Ron, but everybody, I say this as a Tiger person. Everybody has their faults.
Well, that's what I told him as a Razorback fan.
That.
We know that as a Razorback fan. We did that.
Exactly. But in honor of Ron, hotty totty, Ron Wong. But
I tried.
What a guy, and we're just proud to be able to honor him in a small way at our event coming up in August.
And we'll have this all on LarryRay.com, my website, with Guy Trebo doing that. And of course, hats off to you guys at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. And of course, they're going to honor one of my all-time greats, Vern Lundquist, too. Harold, we'll throw that in there, too, because that's going to be your honoree, right?
Vern is going to receive our Distinguished Citizen Award. He'll be the guest of honor at the dinner the night before, so that's Sunday night, August 24th at the Hilton Hotel.
There you go.
Information about that is on our website, and it's also, if you buy a team, have a playing spot in the tournament, you're invited to the dinner as well. But, one of the legendary sportscasters.
It is,
Vern Lundquist.
Well,
he's as big as they come, and like Ron Wong, just a golden heart, great person, and we're so proud to be able to honor him as well.
All right, Harold Graeter, we appreciate it, buddy. And again, that number, 901-795-7700. Of course, you can go to the Liberty Bowl, AutoZone Liberty Bowl website. And what is that again, Harold? What's that website again?
It is AutoZoneLibertyBowl.org.
There you
O-R-G.
go. There you go, folks. Harold, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate y'all.
We'll talk to you. Thank you. Harold Graeter.
Take care.
All right. Appreciate Harold telling us that. Boy, that Ron can make some sliders. He can make some hush puppies.
Ron could make anything.
He could make it if he wanted to, and he could judge, too. I mean, he knew what it was.
And he loved to eat it.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, he did do that, and every time did you have a picture of either Ron and a nice lady,
some attractive woman, and some food.
They all went together, and we're not going to say anything else. But I thought that was great at the Liberty Bowl, and we're going to have another segment later in the show about another honor for Ron that we'll ship on out to his sister Debbie out in California and his son Mark, and all the ones out there. But it was pretty good, so I wanted Harold to come in. And hard to believe he worked for me those many years ago at the Commercial Appeal. But, Todd Eaton, and we were talking about Jack Eaton's late son, Todd Eaton, and he worked there too. A lot of folks worked in that crew that we had on Friday nights taking football scores back in those days when it was a real newspaper. That's what we called it back in those days. I don't know if anybody can remember that right now. Most of them are gone. All right, we're going to take another break. It's time, Hoot. Get ready. Are you ready, Hoot?
Oh, me? Yeah, Hoot. Hoot. Oh, yeah.
Hoot's ready. All right, Hoot's ready. He's got his shirt on because ready. I even wore my commercial. No, I didn't. I wore my.
You got your Outdoors with Larry Ray.
I did, just for Ron's honor today. Yeah. So I did that for Ron because this is another one of his shirts. I can't tell you how many shirts I got from Ron. He was big on shirts. He wasn't big, but he
big
liked
on shirts.
Yeah, he did. He liked shirts and everything. All right, let's take a break. Be right back. Shelby McCall's our show producer. We're going to get that trumpet ready. She's got it, too. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 right here on AM 790 in Memphis, and 6 to 7:30 in Brownsville, 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, and 6:30 to 8 on News Talk 101.5 Jackson. And we do have the man in studio now, Mr. Frank Barton. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone.
Glad to have the FM voices arrive, Frank. You're here. He practices that, I know. And we will have our duel today because we actually have the dueling co-host with us for the first time because John Gordon is a busy man. He's on the road. And, of course, Frank is retrieving retrievers, training, and all over the place, too. Y'all had your big event here recently.
The local club, Mid-South Club, had its event a few weeks ago.
You dodged the rain and everything.
Yep. We got another one coming up in a couple of weeks with just a bunch of younger dogs going to come to it.
Well, we got a man over there sitting next to you, Frank, that knows all about dogs, particularly the dog he has named Diesel, who he has to fill up every once in a while, I think. I don't think he feeds him Diesel, but he might feed – no, he won't. But anyway, he's here. He's in studio. That's my good friend Ricky Hoot Hazelgrove out of Toone, Tennessee, by way of Paris Island, South Carolina. And he has brought some toys, as we mentioned earlier. Look at there, Frank. That turkey is watching you, Frank.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's moving, too.
It is moving. It is moving. How's it doing that, I wonder? But anyway, good morning, Hoot.
How's it going?
All right, you got 30 pounds of toys over there with you that you had in that turkey vest. So talk about what you got now. It's your time. Roll, Hoot.
Well, I got just a few calls that let's make believe that one of y'all's never booked a guided hunt.
Okay.
And you never hunted.
And you've hunted 29 years in Blackwater
I've got
Hunting Service.
For Blackwater Hunting Services in Ulmer, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I've seen quite a few things dealing with hunters. Some good, some not so good, some outstanding, some. Matter of fact, one very tearful thing, I got an emergency phone call. We always have our phones, and they're always on silent.
Yeah.
Was to rush my hunter back to the lodge ASAP. His grandbaby in Virginia had a serious reaction to something.
Oh, my.
And I did the Marine Corps thing. I left everything where I had it, got the truck, got it to as close to him as I could, and had him back to the lodge in 5 or 6 minutes.
All right.
Had him packed and on the road within 20 minutes.
All right. So that's an experience that you don't forget, Hoot. And I know you've got lots of experiences because you've got lots of things you've brought. Now, I see a box call.
Right.
I see a slate call. What do you got over there?
Well, I got somewhat 3 different types of pot calls.
Pot calls, okay.
This is what I carry my mouth calls in.
Okay. He's showing that to y'all. This is radio, so if you don't know what his hand was open, he had the mouth call in his hand. Then he's got the
This is called a paddle box.
Paddle
That's
box.
what I call it.
Okay.
This is a brand new box call I tried out.
We want to hear it. Now, can you make, you're saying what things are, but we want to know what kind of noise that makes.
When I got back to Tennessee,
yeah,
I had this call, and I didn't use it while guiding because I hadn't got the feel for it. And I still don't, but I did tag out.
Oh, he did tag out. Okay.
Pretty much what everybody in the studio is looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I have a decoy bag, and I have several calls on it.
Yeah.
But the box call I'm using is it's a custom-made call. And if you know anything about box calls, that's a very raspy box call.
It is.
Very raspy.
Yes. All right.
But now, something high-pitched, and I like to aggravate the girls.
Oh, you have to aggravate?
When I say girls, I mean hen decoys.
Yes, okay.
Not the one giving me a bad look right here. But anyway.
Shelby's looking at him right now. Okay.
Notice the pitch change. If you know what I mean by pitch, you'll know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's kind of a squeaky sound.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But for me to, let's say, get a hen's hair all blowed back.
Yeah, okay.
And believe it or not, a long ways off,
yes,
What my intentions are to do with that is to either hear a turkey gobble or get a hen to reply to me. I want to let her know there's a new girl in town.
This is all about love.
Correct.
I mean, come on now.
And if you've been turkey hunting, you kind of know there's a dominance thing, and everybody pretty much puts it toward the gobblers.
Yeah.
There's dominant hens also. They can make or break a hunt.
They can, can't they?
So, but what I was wanting to do, Larry,
yeah,
is do some of these calls and give you some guide tips that might make or break your hunt.
Do it.
So,
yeah,
everybody can see what I have, and
I can.
All but one of us are wearing glasses.
That's right. Yeah.
And these are
But he has glasses. Frank does have glasses. He's not.
Well, these are lens cleaners.
Okay. Yeah.
I can assure you, along with a Ziploc bag full of TP in my vest, I won't go into the breakdown of that.
Okay.
I have probably 20 or 30 little packets of these. Because if you know about a pot call,
yeah,
this is a slate.
That's a slate call.
Now,
okay.
I'm going to make just a regular hen cluck on it. Like we're talking now, it's just a normal communication type call.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
There's a purr. That's to please not get you mad at me, the lady sitting in here, because of our comment about hens.
All right. Okay.
But just a basic yelp.
Sweet.
That's a soft call.
It is. Yeah.
There's so much involved, and I'm not a world champion turkey caller. Wouldn't ever get on stage. I get on stage every morning guiding to the real judges.
Yeah.
They digging their toenails into tree limbs while it's still dark. But I try to mimic different pitched hens. I don't know how to break that down any more than I want to sound like more than one or two hens.
Yes.
And sometimes that drives the guys crazy.
It does. Yeah.
To think that the prom's fixing to go on and it's a different school cheerleaders attending.
Okay. That's a good illustration, Hoot. Okay.
But anyway, what I was going to show you as a tip, and these guys can see it, and ladies.
Yes.
Is sometimes I use a call so much that it'll wear. A slate, you're going to wear it down sooner or later.
Yeah.
So.
And people are wondering now, they don't know what you're using there on that slate call is you've got a. No, I'm talking about the thing that rubs on your.
Oh, the striker.
The striker.
I have 3 on the decoy bag, but I carry about 10 different strikers.
Okay, these are really important now. You can't use the slate call without a striker.
But if you notice something.
All right.
Now I've got this lens wipe that you could clean your glasses or whatever.
Well, that's what John Gordon was talking about. Even a duck hunter knows what that is because you got the glasses clean. Oh, you're working it on you're not using
see that
sandpaper.
I know y'all can't see it, but
you're not using sandpaper.
No, not yet.
Okay.
There's a buildup.
Okay.
So I would put that slate call down since it got.
Get up that microphone. Get up there.
I'm sorry if it got started getting a little rough.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to take the time. I'm going to pick up a glass call.
A glass call.
It's a pot call.
All right. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know if you're not a turkey hunter, you don't know what's going on, but it's thrilling this old man, okay? So go ahead. It's my show.
What I'm getting at with a guide tip, I have some flexible sandpaper.
Oh, there you go.
It's on a cushion.
Okay.
Yes, get in the habit of roughing the surface of your pot calls.
Yes.
Get in the habit.
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
Like a pool stick, you always put chalk on the
the
pool
striker.
Tip.
Okay, yeah.
You rough that up also.
Gotcha.
I donate so many turkey calls to the woods.
You do?
One of my all-time favorite strikers is somewhere in the swamp of South Carolina.
So you lost it and you couldn't find it, right?
Big time.
Big time. Okay, yeah.
But you hear that sound?
Yeah.
I could take my feet. There's no leaves in your office. It's very clean and neat and nice. But I've taught my feet how to scratch like a hen scratching.
What now? You've taught your feet how to.
I trained my feet.
Come on now.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's something. Go. How do you?
there's a biggie that y'all have not witnessed.
What?
If you practice what you preach, why would you go hunting, turkey hunting especially, because we're camo freaks when it comes to turkey hunting?
It is.
Where's my gloves?
You don't have any gloves.
Practice what you preach. If you're going to practice with a pot call, whether you're a beginner or I've been
wear your gloves.
Turkey hunting since the mid-'70s.
Yeah.
It's going to make the striker feel different in your hand. It's going to make the pot feel different in your hand.
Yes, yeah.
You know how much I love to duck hunt.
I know you do.
I'm not going to go to schools and show young, wannabe get out in nature and call ducks and mimic them.
You got 2 minutes, Hoot.
But anyway, now you just saw me with that lens wipe on this slate call.
Yes.
Real quick, all I'm doing is getting the grain wipe. There's a arrow with SS on there, and it's pointed toward the SS. Sweet spot.
Sweet spot. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, I know you're fixing to take a break, but now I got my gloves on. So when I get up in the school, of course, I take my saxophone and I play the melody of something.
Yeah.
It's an attention gainer.
Yeah.
And unbelievable this past year at the schools I went to, I always ask them, how many of y'all ever been on the Hatchie River, which you know well, runs through my farm in Bolivar, Hardeman County.
Yeah.
Have been on the Hatchie fishing. And it used to be, even 4 years ago, I'd see 8 or 10 hands out of 500 or 600 kids.
Yeah.
This year it was unbelievable at the amount of hands that jumped up in there.
There you go.
So saying that, I just want to tell you, I'm going to try to give everybody some very, very good guide tips that could go a long ways. As a matter of fact, one guide tip that they can't see but you're looking at.
What's that?
Is I'm going to face that decoy toward an incoming gobbler.
Ah, okay.
And here's a tip for newcomers to using decoys. If his head is white, he's right. If his head is red, he's dead.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Hoot's gonna stay around, so hang on. Way to go, Hoot. That was good. And all this is at LarryRay.com. You can go listen to that Hoot segment. Let's take a break. It's time to make another award in honor of late Ron Wall. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air here on AM 790 every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30. And this is third Saturday, and we actually have our dynamic duo with us this Saturday morning. It's good to have Frank Barton. He's over there. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone.
And John Gordon.
Morning, Larry.
Good to see you, John. John is a traveling man. Rick Nelson's that song. The Traveling Man ought to be your.
Is that Rick Nelson?
Yes. You remember Rick Nelson? Is that you two?
Ozzie and Harriet?
Well, I won't go that far back. But anyway, all right, as I told you earlier in the show, we did a snippet with the AutoZone Liberty, both in an honor that they're going to present to our late colleague, Ron Wong. And we're all still devastated. It just won't, it's going to take a while to get used to this. But at Ron's celebration of life, we were happy to announce a new foundation headed our way thanks to the good folks at B&M Poles and related to Ron's love of fishing and getting people involved in the sport of fishing. And right now we're happy to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray our good friend Kent Driscoll. He is the director of B&M Poles pro staff. And Madlyn Roberts, she is maybe the person most responsible for this, and Kent will explain all that because she's relatively new to fishing, and it was through Ron Wong that inspired her to be such an advocate of fishing now. But first of all, good morning to both of you folks, and Kent, explain to us what's going on here.
Hey, Larry, good morning. So Yeah, the Ron Wong Legacy Foundation is in the startup phase right now, and the idea actually came from Madlyn Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Madlyn met Ron through the Brush Pile Fishing Academies, and what that is, the Brush Pile team does a fishing academy. They do 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah.
They go to a lake. They get fishing guides, and then they have students come to these academies.
Right.
And it's a half day of fishing and a half day of classroom study on learning how to fish.
Yeah.
So you take what you learn in the classroom and you go out to the lake with it. Well, Madlyn was our very first female to come to, I believe it was the Brush Pile Academy at Dale Hollow. I believe was the first one. And then she came to the second one. Well, while she was attending the academy, she obviously met Ron Wong.
I know, had to be, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, Ron is, he's just such an outgoing personality, and, he immediately was drawn to Madlyn as being the first female angler and kind of took her under his wing and just talked to her about, his love for fishing and her love for fishing, and he really challenged her and said, hey, you could be a voice in the fishing industry. And, and I'm sure Madlyn can talk about this a little bit more, but, at first it was a little bit of a shock to her because, hey, here's this big outdoor fishing personality talking to me about, being that same personality, but representing, the females in the fishing industry.
Yes. And
they got to know each other, and, Ron just really inspired Madlyn, and they struck up this friendship, and they just spoke a lot and spoke often. And all of a sudden, Madlyn's fishing career just started taking off, okay?
Yeah.
And, she, she joined the Brush Pile Fishing Academy team. She started as a outdoor rider for Crappie Now. And all these doors started opening for Madlyn in the fishing industry. And then all of a sudden Ron passed on, okay?
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, and just a shock to all of us.
Yes.
So Madlyn, wrote this email to a couple of us, and it was so heartfelt. And you've read it.
Oh,
yeah. You know how much that Ron inspired Madlyn. And she just said, hey, I want to do something in Ron's name. I want to create this legacy foundation.
Wow.
And it was her idea.
Yes.
And then she reached out to me, and, she knew how good of friends I was with Ron and knew that I had a lot of fishing connections. And she said, hey, we really need to do this. And, the idea is, it has since then has taken off. And, our goal is to create opportunities for women in the fishing and down the road in the hunting industry.
Yeah.
And where we can, solicit money and funding and create opportunities to introduce these women that might not have that opportunity. And that's kind of the short version of it. But we're putting together a board of directors. We're putting together a website. We're putting together a Facebook page. We're creating a nonprofit. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes right here for this foundation. But it's going to be a really, really fun and cool project, and it's all going to be to honor Ron Wong. So we're excited about it.
Let's bring in Madlyn here, because I had a chance to meet Madlyn. She was at Ron's Celebration of Life. I got to sit right across from her. Thanks for lunch, too, you guys. It was good that day. But, Madlyn, I've read your Ron Wong remembrance that you wrote to the Brush Pile family and Russ Bailey and all those great guys. And when I read this last paragraph before we turn it over to Madlyn, fishing has saved my life in so many ways and has given my life a purpose that I didn't realize I was missing. So talk about this, Madlyn, what the impact that Ron had on you.
Yeah, Larry. So Kent kind of touched on it. Ron was a guy that pushed me outside of my comfort zone.
That's right, yeah.
And that's one of the things that I appreciate the most about him, along with his support that he showed the female anglers and the fishing community. And when I first went to my brush pile fishing academy, the first go around, I was really just there to learn more about fishing and try to, make myself better as an angler.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really taking into account that my story could inspire other women to do the same.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Ron brought to my attention. And man, he just really wouldn't let it go. And when he passed on, it was very bittersweet, because the night that he passed on, the very next day, my first article came out for Crappie Now. And,
yeah, there you go.
And I was just, heartbroken that I couldn't share that with him. But at the same time, I was so inspired by, the impact that he had on my life. I just knew that, I needed to pick up the torch that he carried.
And you've done it. Yeah.
To get more people, specifically women, and, definitely children down the road, more involved and engaged in the fishing community. And so, that's what we're trying to do with the foundation. And
you've really, and Kent knows this, it seems like you're everywhere now. You're fishing now, Madlyn. I mean, you've been down to, where you been? You've been fishing recently, right? I mean.
Yes. I just got back from Alabama, Millbrook, Alabama, for the Crappie Now Media Camp.
Yeah.
Got to meet some really great people down there. I got to meet my editor, Richard Sims, for the first time, and Dan Dannenmuller and Sue Dannenmuller.
That's right.
And they're all great people. And, every time that I have an opportunity to go to any type of fishing event, no matter what it is, I just feel like, I make these great connections, and I just have felt very uplifted by the fishing community. And I think, that's what makes it so special.
Well, and again, we're talking to Madlyn Roberts out of Louisville, Kentucky. Is that right, Madlyn?
Yes, that's correct.
And Kent Driscoll, he was the director of pro staff for B&N Poles. And I know, Kent, this is not something you can just do it overnight. This is going to be a long-ranging thing that will honor Ron for ever. The legacy will be there. And I know you guys, I don't know how many B&M Poles shirts I've got, but most of them were from Ron Wong or Jack Wells. I don't know. It might have been from Kent too, but I expect a Madlyn Roberts shirt soon. We're going to have to get some women on there, Kent. Now, come on now. So, but the thing about this thing, what's been the reception? I know we're still in the get start thing, but I imagine this has been something that a lot of people are going to want to get involved in, Kent.
Oh, for sure. I've talked to several people in the industry, and they just, they all love Ron Wong.
Yeah.
And they want to be a part of this, and they're like, hey, when you guys get the foundation up and running,
let them know.
They're just saying, how can we help?
Yes.
And that's so refreshing to hear. And this is going to be a fun project.
It is.
And Larry, you're going to be a part of this too. So
I hope so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think long term, man, we're going to touch a lot of people's lives through Ron Wong. So
well, that's
it's
what
going to be a great foundation.
That's what we want to do. And I will say, folks, at Ron's Celebration of Life, I was honored to be one of the speakers, and to look out and see in the back of that big room at Riverside Chapel at Memorial Park Funeral Home and see 15 folks back there, most of them wearing fishing shirts, and everything. It just stood out because you guys were there to represent Ron and his love, and I know what he thought about the Brush Piles Academy. He would get in that car and go, that's no easy thing for Ron to make those trips up to Dale Holland, whatever it might be. But I can see this. Well, I want to thank both of you, Madlyn and Kent, and tell Jack and all the rest of the B&M Pole family, I appreciate this. This is going to be the start. I think I'm going to stick around for a while. Okay, this is going to be the start. Okay, I got another birthday next week, and I'm going to keep this going because this is what Ron would have really liked. I know his sister Debbie is all fired up about it. In fact, she's coming back in August for the Legend of the Outdoor Hall of Fame when Ron will be inducted into it. Debbie is coming back from California to be there, and I can't wait for that tribute to him. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and we'll stay in touch, Kent and Madlyn, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Larry. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Appreciate you. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's take a break. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. And what are we doing now? I can talk. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk to Arkansas. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Once again, it is an award-winning episode of the Larry Ray Show. All things you want to know about the outdoors here in the Mid-South, you will find about it here on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You need to be writing this down.
And now, without further fluff or fanfare, the one and only, the oracle of the outdoors, Larry Ray.
Oh, my goodness. What an FM voice. Someday when I grow up, I want to have the voice just like Frank Barton. You know,
it's too late, Larry's done.
Too late? You think it's gone?
Gone, man.
Yeah. I had to sing a song the other day for a man's 80th birthday party. I want you to know, before we get to this guest, I know he's not in a hurry. But anyway, this 80-year-old guy wanted me to sing a song. It was a J.D. Sumner song, which is very deep and low. I got to his house. He had his full band there playing. They had 200 people at his birthday party. I brought out my $29.95 Walmart boombox and played it. But anyway, I did it. All right. Hey, it's always good to go to God's country. You know I'm from Arkansas, and so I've been to this facility many times over my career. It opened up in August of 2004, and it's named after one of my favorite people of all time, Forrest Wood Crowley's Ridge Nature Center. Regionally celebrated its 1 millionth guest, and that's pretty cool when you consider that no other nature center in the state of Arkansas has ever had that many people come to it, and we're honored to have Cody Walker. He is the facility manager for this nature center in Jonesboro. And Cody, first of all, congratulations. 1 million is a lot, and I know you've been there 17 years. You've seen a lot of folks come and go. So talk about here's your chance, buddy. Talk about your nature center.
Well, man, Larry, I really appreciate you having us on this morning and letting me get an opportunity to visit with all your listeners about the Nature Center here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We did open in August 2004, and we are one of 9 nature centers in Arkansas. Actually, we're the second that was opened in the state with funding from the 1/8 of a cent Conservation Sales Fund.
Yes.
And we did just hit the 1 millionth visitor, which is a really cool accomplishment. We're the first one of the time to do that.
Yeah.
We've got another facility that's right on our heels, which was opened after us, actually, the Fort Smith Nature Center. I think they're about 40,000 visitors away, but they're getting real close too. So yeah, it's an exciting time for us, and really, I got to thinking about this the other day because I've done a few interviews over this now.
Yeah.
It's cool that we've hit the 1 millionth visitor, and that's a neat thing. But I think really, for me, the coolest part of this is thinking back to all the people that led up to this 1 millionth visitor. The people that we've got to encounter over the years, all the hunter ed participants, the boater ed participants, man, you know how many turkey calls we've made in this place?
Hear that, Hoot? He said that? I got my turkey hunter over there, and he's listening. You said turkey, and he sprung up all of a sudden. But
he perked up, did he?
Yes. Well, nature centers like that, and talking about the different ones, and you're 17,033 square foot, 3-story facility on 160 acres that joins the southern boundary of the Craighead Forest Park. And I know Cody being there for almost 2 decades, but Destiny Watson and 3 of her children came through the door on that Tuesday morning at 11:46. Did they have any idea what was going on? How did y'all handle that?
Well, we didn't want to kill somebody that was coming in to buy a 65-plus license, because we had confetti cannons and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was actually off-site that day at a managers meeting because we didn't know exactly when it was going to hit, and I'd already been scheduled to be on site. But anyways, we had a plan together, and I told them, I said, look, y'all be on the front porch, and you tell them, give them a heads up. Don't have an ambulance out here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
1 million visitors because we shot off confetti cannons in their face when they walked in the door. But it went over well. The person that did win it was someone who comes out here frequently with her family. I'm glad it went to a visitor that comes out here and visits with us quite often. But that's the thing. Even all this time that I've been here, there's so many people that come through our facility that live right here in Jonesboro and have no idea we're here. I don't understand it, but and then they come in and they ask how much it costs, and we tell them, well, it doesn't cost anything. It's free thanks to your support of the 1/8 cents Conservation Sales Fund, and it just blows them away because it is a 17,000 square foot facility with over 40 different live animals encompassing fish and reptiles and birds.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to see and do out here, and not just what the facility has, but just the program that we offer on Saturdays and at night and for school groups, and the list just goes on and on about the positive impact this facility has on the community here in Northeast Arkansas.
So what are your hours? What do you open? When?
We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30, and we are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay, and Cody, you've seen this thing happen, and folks, if you're looking for a field trip, even my listeners in West Tennessee, particularly in Memphis, it's a short drive over to Jonesboro. It's worth it for a school group. I can tell you what now, I'm thinking about bringing my senior adult Sunday school class over because there's so much interest in things to see. He mentioned animals and things along that line. You guys have tried to stay up to date too, Cody. I mean, you try to add new things. Talk about what it means to be the facility manager for this.
Yeah, we do. We actually went through, I believe it's our 10-year anniversary. We went through about a 2-year process where we upgraded some exhibits. When I first started here, pretty much all the aquariums and terrariums that we had in the facility, they were all, what you could personally go buy at Petco. Just a small, aquarium, nothing big, extravagant. They were nice displays, but there weren't anything crazy. Yeah. But at our 10-year anniversary, we hired a company to come in, and we totally revamped all of our enclosures. We actually had an IMAX movie theater here on site, and we had the original Crowley's Ridge film, which talks about how Crowley's Ridge was formed. It's a cool film, but during that 10-year anniversary, we created a second film that is almost like a call to action film. It basically promotes hunting, fishing, trapping, and other outdoor recreational pursuits, and tries to get people outside to enjoy Arkansas's great outdoors.
Well, again, we're talking to Cody Walker. He is the facility manager at the Forestdale Wood Crowley's Ridge Nature Center in Jonesboro. What's your background, Cody?
I'm a native of Central Arkansas. I actually moved up here.
From where?
Back Bryant, actually.
Okay,
Bryant, Arkansas.
Okay, I'm a native of North Little Rock, so I'm.
Okay, that's not too far.
Yeah, it's not too far. Well, Dogtown they called us then, but I know So you're from Central Arkansas, and have you been? You said you've been 17 years there.
Yes, sir. Moved up here for an educator position at this nature center. I was already currently employed in Little Rock for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission as a administrative specialist there in the office. I did data entry and answered phones, and promoted up here as an educator, and spent the majority of my career, a little over 15 years, as an educator here at this nature center. And then a couple years ago, my good friend and mentor, he retired as the facility manager, and I applied for the job, and they gave it to me.
Well, that's good. Cody, we appreciate it. Again, folks, you can go to the Arkansas Game and Fish website. I've looked it up, and you can go to LarryRay.com. I've got the story posted about Cody and the facility 1 millionth visitor. But Cody, we'll stay in touch, buddy. Anything you got going, be sure and contact us, and appreciate you taking time to be with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Okay, buddy? All right.
Hey, thank you for promoting us. We appreciate you, sir.
All right, Cody Walker. All right, guys, I know that we talk a lot in Hoot. Education is so important to the young folks. John, you know that. and I know Frank does that too with his facilities. And I can't let Frank go without you know what. We got to get a Sultana Museum update. Frank has now done his duty again. Fascinating story of the Sultana. Frank, I don't know how much time it takes you every year to do that. I love it. I sit there and I don't need to read my book for a week, and I'm keeping up with it. So how's it going at the museum?
Museum is it's almost completely dry now. That means we got the roof is all done, and windows are being put in as we're here, and so it's we're doing well. We had an event.
Yeah, what about
first? We've had this event. We called it Music at the Mounds, which was out at Mound City. And for those of you that follow the Sultana, knows that Mound City is where the Sultana came to rest.
Came to rest,
not too far from there, actually.
Yeah.
So we had an event out there, and very well received. And plans are already being made next year when we'll do it again. And next year will be the 161st
anniversary
celebration of what took place. But the museum will be fully open at that time.
Ooh,
so we'll have the Descendants Association will be attending, and so it'll be a good thing. We're excited about it.
You got people still coming by and visiting now. I know.
Oh, the old museum is still open.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting people. I saw some folks from Bartlett were out there the other day, and I know that you got things going, and I want to get out there as best I can. But again, all right, Hoot, make me some noise before I go out from this segment. We'll be right back when Outdoors with Larry Ray, if they'll let us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Up next, we're heading to Reelfoot, also known as the Quake Lake, formed by a massive earthquake in the Mississippi River back in the early 1800s when Larry was just a boy. And here he is, folks. The man, the myth, the legend, the Outdoors Hall of Famer, Larry Ray.
And the ability to cut out things, too. That's one of the things I get to do here. But
you asked for it, Larry. Every time you let me do this.
I got it.
I got to
we may have to expand your the territory here, John, and let you introduce the entire show, But anyway, well, this next guest... I know he's going to say how great a fisherman I am. He's going to expound on, my qualities as a fisher person, but then he's going to talk about my wife. So we're going to put it out of the way real quick. Billy Blakley, who is the fisher person in my family, Billy Blakley?
Well, I think everybody in the world knows that by now, Larry. Miss Barham is the fishing lady.
Well, it's good talking to you, Billy, and so we'll talk to you down the road. No, Billy took the opportunity at the Legend of the Outdoors to expound on that very nicely up on the stage up there. But I hope your wife is listening right now and know that you're in trouble. But no, Billy, of course, is the chief waterfowl fishing guide at my place I go to, Blue Bank Resort on Reelfoot Lake, and been up there a long time. And we kid with each other, but he and I have a great respect for each other. At least I do for him. I'm not sure about me, but I know that that we get along greatly, particularly when we're in a boat and he's taking care of my wife Miriam and I'm back there floundering around. But Billy, we talked to you earlier when all the water was high and everything at Reelfoot, and we were talking about it's going to make fishing better. So give us an update on what's going on at Reelfoot fishing-wise.
Man, fishing-wise, this lake is in better shape than it's ever been.
There you go. Okay.
Probably in 20 years.
And is that because of all the water we got, Billy?
Yes, sir. It's got them crappies spawning a little later than usual. They're still spawning right now.
In May.
Catching them up on the shorelines around the trees jigging. Catching coolers full of bluegill. I've been doing every day this week by 10:30 or 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. That's all we wanted to hear from Billy right there. And speaking of bluegill, I wanted to get Billy on because Billy's got an event coming up on May 31st. This will be the second annual. And, you know, it's the B&C Fishing Rodeo. I really think it ought to be the C&B Fishing Rodeo, but I didn't have any part in naming this thing. But I would have named Christy first. But, I mean, if you don't want to.
That's what she wanted.
Oh, she did? Okay. Well,
yeah.
We got that on record, I hope. But you started this last year, Billy. Why such an event like this?
Well, there's nothing around here they hardly do for the kids.
Yes.
And I was sitting in the house talking to my wife saying, hey, we need to do something out here at the house because I got this 1.5 acre pond and full of fish. Nobody enjoys it.
Yes.
I said, let's do something for the kids. Put on a little event. We'll get them up here fishing for 4 hours, give them away prizes, give them whatever we can give them a little cash prize for a certain kind of fish, this and that.
Yeah.
And then we cook them lunch at 11 o'clock when all the prizes are handed out. We cook them hamburgers and hot dogs and just enjoy a good morning, get some kids outdoors. Last year we had 87.
Did you really? Okay, yeah.
38 out of the 87 had never fished before that day.
Wow, that's pretty cool, folks. Did you hear that? You had 87, and how many had never fished before, did you say?
38 of them before that day had never fished before.
And how much does it cost to fish in this, Billy?
Man, it don't cost nothing. It's open to the public.
It's free, and this is just a way for Billy to give back, because I know, Billy, you're a kid at heart. We know that.
Always.
Ever since you were a kid, you've been a kid, you know. But the thing about this is you've got some pros and things like that come out to help you, don't you? I mean,
yes, sir. We'll have some of the boys that guide on real foot and some of the pros that fish all over be here. And if it's a kid needs help, they'll run out there and help them, walk around talking to them and all that stuff.
Yeah, and undoubtedly you were, because you know who's never caught a fish before. A lot of them never baited a hook before, more than likely. You're going to go through some crickets and stuff like that. But the thing about this thing is you're doing it for the kids of that area up there. And, of course, we're talking about, now I know you guys live in Troy, right? Is that what you're?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how do we get in touch with this? Before I get back to talking fishing with you, how do people, what time is it going to be? And it's going to be May the 31st. Tell us what time.
May the 31st, they're going to fish from 7 to 11, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
At 11 a.m., we'll give them prizes and stuff, award the prizes, and then we're going to cook them lunch right here in the backyard.
And what's the ages we're talking about, Billy? What?
15 and under.
15 and under. And that under's way under. I mean, you got some little kids in. I mean.
We had some little ones, buddy.
You did? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The youngest that I know was 2 years old.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I know, and again, we're talking to Billy Blakley about the B&C Youth Fishing Rodeo on May 31st in Troy, Tennessee. So tell our folks you got signs up? How are we going to find your place?
Yes, sir. I got a big sign out in the yard. All they got to do is check us out on Facebook, Billy Blakley or Christy Blakley. We've got something posted about it. And it's got the address and everything on there, 4618 North Clayton, Antioch Road, Troy, Tennessee.
There you go. All right, folks, this is really a great event. And I know the next Saturday is Free Fishing Weekend named after Bobby Wilson. He finally got something named after Bobby. Free Fishing Weekend. And I know my good folks out at Herb Parsons are going to have an event on June the 7th out there with Bill Dance. He's supposed to come, but somebody better wake him up. So that's going to be on June the 7th. But with Billy and Christy, the way they've got this thing set up, you're going to be bank fishing, right, Billy?
Yes, sir.
Do they need to
from the bank?
Do they need to bring anything, or are you going to have some stuff for them to use? What?
I've got some stuff for them to use, but most of them need to bring their fishing stuff and a seat if they want to sit down.
And what are they going to catch?
They're going to catch bluegill, crappie, bass, and catfish.
There is a catfish out there, you say, then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is there a good catfish out there, Billy? I mean...
Well, I've caught one out of it that's 65 pounds.
What's a bad catfish?
Yeah, well, 65 pounds. Well, two of my guests just left. They're coming up there right now, and you said 65 pounds. You know, that's as big as Ron Wong. I mean, when you come
almost.
Well, I know you guys... are doing this out of your heart, Billy. I know you not that you don't have a lot of things going on and doing, but you're going to step aside, folks, and a lot of those guys from Blue Bank Resort, and just take a kid up there, check on the reservations, go and spend the weekend up there, okay? I mean, go to Blue Bank and do all the other stuff. Billy, I appreciate you, buddy. And as
yes,
always,
sir, Larry. Anytime. Thank y'all.
See you. I hope to see you sometime soon. All right, man.
Sound good, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Billy. All right.
Bye-bye.
Billy Blakley. And you know, when you hear those hoot, I know how much you love to teach kids. You've even tried to teach Shelby here. I mean, I think she enjoys you being here, Billy. I mean, Hoot, because of your abilities there. So, and your different calls. Did I hear a duck call earlier? You didn't know duck call over there.
It was an owl call.
Okay, well, I thought you had. There you go.
Little chuckle, though.
Little chuckle in there, yeah. It's a good chuckle and everything like that. Well, Hoot, we appreciate you being. We didn't mention that he brought along a guest with him.
Right.
This turkey, Hoot. No, Hoot.
What?
That.
Yeah, well, I had to get.
You got to get the.
Gotta
Oh, he's
use
got to
remote
get.
control.
Yeah, it's a remote control.
Be looking at you. You're the host.
Go to LarryRay.com. We're going to have a lot of pictures up there of Hoot and his buddy. That you don't just sit that in the front seat and drive around, do you? I mean,
believe it or not, when I leave Toon,
yes,
every February I go to the coast, stay with my mother for about three weeks before I go guide.
Yeah.
Diesel rides up front. He's one of the best riding passengers you'll
You'd
ever
love
have in
Diesel.
your life.
John, you'd love Diesel.
In the rear seat, on the passenger side,
yeah,
I have him there, and I can freak kids out.
I believe it got me going in here.
Just by I can have this around my neck.
And making him move. I mean,
and he's in the back doing this stuff, and then I can,
That's pretty creepy, isn't it, John?
Because
it is.
it's a 12-hour drive.
It is a 12-hour drive.
And majority of it, I'd say easily 10 of it is interstate.
Yes, yeah.
So I get, not that I get bored, because Diesel won't let me get bored when he sees a Sonic sign.
A Sonic, he does. That's Diesel.
But
yeah.
Anyway, no, it's just, my thing is, what's going to happen when somebody does not pass it on?
Yes, that's right.
What happens?
Yeah.
It all dies, man.
I mean,
it all dies. Yeah.
And like I was telling you earlier, I go to all those schools, the elementary and middle schools.
Yes.
And give a presentation how wildlife that's indigenous to our area, how they communicate. And it just tickles me to death that this past year I saw so many hands about people raising their hands, young people being on the hatchie, going fishing. Then I asked the biggie, how many of y'all been hunting?
Yeah.
Same amount, and it makes me feel good.
Yes.
That I've got a little bit of contribution to do, to help any way I can. Matter of fact, I'm taking kids instead of just on the juvenile. I take them.
You take them.
If they get out for Christmas break.
Yeah.
Big time. We cook, do everything in the duck blind.
Well, that's Hoot Hazelgrove, and one of our favorite guests on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Let me tell you about next week's show. The Mid-South Fly Fishers, Judd Parker, going to talk about the upcoming, listen to this thing, the National Veterans Golden Age Games are coming. And we're going to have some fly fishing involved in that, with a lot of the Mid-South Fly Fishers involved in that. Also, we're going to talk a lot about my trout fishing trip to Gaston's next week. I hope at least I have something to talk about besides the weather, maybe. In a couple of weeks, we're going to give you notice, the one and only, the Graybeard Adventurer, will be in studio for the last Saturday in May as he's getting ready to go back on the Appalachian Trail at 90 or whatever.
Yeah, how
he
old is he now? He's got to be in his 90s, right?
He's getting 90, I think, but we'll find out. He's already in training now. Dale Sanders, and we'll have him on. And we're going to talk to Linda Powell also about my new shotgun that we talked about. I've got the new shotgun going. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Shelby, I know you brought your horn. We'll do it another time, and we'll get Hoot back with his saxophone another time. And I'll bring my kazoo next time with me. But anyway, all right, guys, thank you. And remember this, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else? God bless the USA.